Hello, my name is Jim Hummer from Solver. Today we'll be looking at custom drill twos. In particular, we'll be looking at year-to-dates. So I have a very simple report here, and let's look at it. We have on our rows, we have just a filter for 4-5 for accounts, for general ledger. In our columns, we have not a year-to-date in the functions, and what I really did is went and made a calculation, and this is a year-to-date calculation to calculate my column. And to run this, I'm going to run this on the third period, and I can drill down here, and I should be able to see that I have multiple periods here in conjunction with this report. And this is also on a single column. Just a little bit more here. So this is our drill 2 on our default drill 2 and summary, and we basically have 3 periods here with amounts. So let's say that we basically want to make that more confined, that users can read this a little bit easier, and to do that we use our drill 2s. So I'm going to go back to my report, and I'll go back to design. I'm going to click on the measure. And I have my tabs in the bottom, and I have my drill 2. So you have your default drill down, and you can create your drill 2. Some people like to uncheck the default drill down. It doesn't really matter unless you have large reports, because the default drill down does take extra memory. It could slow down a report. So let's click in create our drill 2. And I want to actually drill down into the details. So I'm going to put my fields that I want on top and my filters on the bottom. So I'm bringing my account string and then my account description. A journal, that's a pretty basic thing I want to have in my description. And then my transaction date and my amount. If I want to move these, I can just grab and move these. If I want to delete, I can just double click and delete these. So let's bring in my filters. First I'm going to do is my account string, because that's what's in my report in my groupings. And we'll show you that later. If I click on account string, it brings in drill source, account string, account number. The next one is my periods. So for now, let's just choose my periods. If I choose my parameter, if I click on my drill 2, notice I can't select into this. Okay. So now if I run this, and now if I drill, I can see my drill 2 right here, and I can name that, of course, if I want, and then run that, and then this pulls in my data, and notice it only pulled in for the third period, and that's because I used my parameter. It pulls in for my third period only. So how do I get to pull in for the full year to date? So I go back to my formula, and then I click into my modify, And I'm going to need something different here. So where do I get it? So I'm going to go here to my filters for my column. And I'm going to copy my formula here and then go back to the cell. Go to my drill 2. And then paste this in. Okay, now let's run that. And do the same thing. And now I have all 3 of my fiscal periods. So that's how you do it with the formula year to date. So let's go ahead and then go here to my column and click on expanding. So now my column's going to expand by the amount of periods that I have. So if I choose period 3, it's going to give me 3 columns. So let's run this. And let's drill on this first one here. And you notice it gives me the first, but also gives me the rest of them too. So the formula doesn't know which period it is when you expand it. So you have to change this a little bit. And the first thing I'm going to do is check on my columns and my groupings and see if I have posting periods there. That controls my drill 2. And then I'm going to click on my measure. And then I'm going to go here into my edit. And I'm not going to have this formula anymore. I'm going to choose this posting periods for drill source. So let's run this instead. And let's run this again. And here now it only gives me my first period. Let's go test the second one. And now this gives me my second. And this gives me my third. So your year-to-date formulas all matter upon how you do it. If you want them expanding, you need to have a drill source. If you want them to be in a single column, you need to have a year-to-date formula. So that basically concludes my presentation on drill 2s within BI360 and also custom year-to-date formulas. Thank you.